Hey friends, it's Moose and thank you so much for joining me back here. Long time no see. I'm going to try to make this quick. I'm going to try to fit a bunch of stuff into here and hopefully I will be back to normal, regular, kind of consistent posting. Just a very quick update, life update, as to why I have not been here. If you are not interested in my life and you're just here for books, you won't hurt my feelings. That's completely fine. I'll put a little timestamp here you can skip to if you don't want a life update. I'm pregnant. I have the third baby growing in there right now. This is our third one. It's a boy. I'm 26 weeks, 25 weeks, 26 weeks, something like that. And the first half was very rough. I thought it would be the easiest with this being my third, but it has actually been the hardest. And it kind of just wiped me out for the first half of my pregnancy. For like 4 months, I was just down for the count. No motivation, just kind of slipping by. Mentally drained, physically drained. I stayed sick all the time, constantly nauseous. It was not easy. And so this kind of fell to the back burner and I'm sorry for that. I'm feeling great now. Like I finally passed that hurdle and he's in there. It's a boy. We are having a little boy. This will be our second boy. Third baby. Planning on this one being our last. But it's not up to us. It's whatever God wills. But we're going to do what we can to make this our last. We're going to name him Abram and call him Bram. We haven't picked out a middle name yet. So yeah, I'm having another baby. That's why I've been gone. Because I'm growing that baby. But like I say, I'm feeling good now. So I expect things to be good. I've also started a new job. I work for an indie small publisher kind of marketing their books on TikTok. My face is not associated with it. My name is not associated with it. It's for them. But that also takes up my free time. That's not free time anymore. It's work time. So I just have not been reading. The second half of 2023 was terrible in terms of my reading, and that's what we're going to do today. We're going to go over my stats for 2023 and my reading goals for 2024. So here we go. I'm going to put my story graph up here. I always prefer to look at story graph whenever I do the stats and stuff for the year, just because I feel like they have a little bit more insights. I read 50 books last year. My goal was 100. In 2022, I read 100, so I just made that my goal for 2023 as well. Did not hit that. I started out strong, got pregnant, got sick, got a new job, all that kind of stuff. So I did not end the year strong, but I still read 50 books, which is still really good. It's way better than I used to do before I started BookTube and all that kind of stuff. So disappointed personally, but overall I'm still happy with it. According to this, I read 19,750 pages. Of course, it depends on the edition as to what that would be. This says I read the most emotional books. I'm curious what they consider emotional. A lot of the romance books and fantasy romance books, even some thrillers are in here, just romance and fantasy romance mostly. Adventurous, I would say, is also the fantasy romance types things. Yeah, we got some science fiction in there. I have no idea why Save the Cat Writes a Novel would be adventurous. It's just a writing help book. But that's there too. And then a lot of the fantasy stuff that I read. And then third would be lighthearted. I'm assuming those are the rom-coms that I read. I read a lot of rom-coms. Yeah, all of the romances that I read. Dark, I'm curious. Maybe some of the fantasy as well. Yeah, some fantasy. Some of the thrillers I've read. Yeah, the thrillers are in here. Fantasy, all that kind of stuff. Funny, I'm going to assume is rom-com. Tense, again, I would assume is thrillers and fantasy. Yep. So, kind of a wide range of reading. I used to be really stuck into the fantasy niche. Branched out into rom-coms. I've been branching out into thrillers. I read a nonfiction book last year. I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy was one of my favorites of last year, and I do not read nonfiction. I am not a nonfiction reader, but I already have, and we'll go into this more in my goals, but I already have a nonfiction book on cue for 2024. I want to read the Britney Spears memoir as well. So, pacing, medium pace, that's pretty typical, especially with all the fantasy stuff. Page number 300 to 499. Again, those rom-coms that I throw in there, I think, bring that word count down. Fantasy books, tend to be longer. I do read a lot of the rom-coms that fall in like the 300 range. Look at this graph. I'm pretty sure in 2022 it was all pink. It was all fiction. So we're making strides in my development as a reader. I got a nonfiction in there. Oh, actually, Save the Cat should be, yeah, Save the Cat should be in here too. So there you go. Moving on up. Genres, romance, yeah. And then fantasy and contemporary. All three of those fall into the either rom-com / fantasy romance genre, I would say. This is never accurate. I don't keep track of what I read. Jennifer L. Armentrout, I read all of Blood and Ash again in preparation for the last one, which I still haven't read because it came out in like August or whenever. It came out right as I was getting pregnant and feeling awful, so I did not read it yet. I haven't read it yet. But I read all of those in preparation for that, and then I also read her spin-off Fire and Flesh series, so I did read a lot of her last year. Same for Sarah Adams. I love Sarah Adams. She is one of my favorites. You know that if you've been here for a while. Same for Sarah J. Maas. And then I kind of just binged some series last year, which is what you're seeing there. You can see my you can see my progression. I started out the year kind of steady. I don't know what happened in May. Oh, we went on vacation in May. That's what happened. Spiked in the summer because I was feeling good. I was high on life. I was listening to the audiobooks when I was going to the gym every day. Got pregnant towards the end of the summer, and it just declined. I didn't read anything in September, October, or November. That's kind of nuts to me. And then I did read some books in December. Not very many, but I did read a few in December just to finish them up. I finished up some books that I was in the middle of, some quick audiobooks, that kind of stuff, just to hit at least 50. I at least wanted to hit 50 for the year. So those are my reading stats for 2023. Overall, not a terrible year. I've had worse years. It's really just like the second half of that year is kind of hanging over me. It's like, oh, I was not a good reader in the second half of 2023. For 2024, I definitely want to be better. And you know, it's such a strange, subjective concept of what makes you a good reader. But for me personally, I want to read more. I want to read maybe some more backlist things, some more indie things, niche things. I do enjoy the popular books, you know. I love Sarah J. Maas. I'm on the Fourth Wing kick right now. I'm like a fourth of the way through Iron Flame right now, trying to make my way through it. Just, again, it came out at the end of the year. Didn't get to it. I'm finally getting to it. But I also do really enjoy indie published authors, so a lot of the rom-coms and stuff I read are indie published. I would like to get more into fantasy indie published authors. I'm finding I like memoirs if they're niche and specific. I don't want to just read any memoir, but I love Jeanette McCurdy's, and it's kind of given me a new life for it, I guess. I want to see what else is out there. I want to read more thrillers this year. Maybe more sci-fi. I say that every year. I have enjoyed the sci-fi that I read. I just never seek it out. But I want to branch out a little bit more this year. I branched out a little bit last year. I want to branch out even more this year. One of my main goals for 2024, branch out, read more, and grow my social media stuff, and maybe finish my book. I would really like to finish my book this year. I'm writing a clean contemporary romance book. Actually, it's more of a rom-com, clean rom-com book. And it again fell to the wayside. I want to hop back on it and get on it and finish that this year. So those are my goals for 2024. I hope you had an awesome 2023. I hope your 2024 is going great so far. I missed you guys, and I'm glad to be back. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to subscribe down below and leave a comment. You guys are awesome. I am so thankful for you, and I'm so blessed to have you here on my channel. And we'll meet back here next time. See ya!